Good evening. What a magnificent function. What a magnificent alankaram. Today being the last day as Mahishasura Mardini. When we built the Rajagopuram 3-4 years ago, she said, many things will happen here. Humans won't even know how to comprehend it. But it's going to happen in the next hundreds of years, and you people will see it. Many of us won't be here at that time, but you'll see many miraculous things. I have seen many. I have felt many. Some of the devotees were telling me today their experiences. Because most of these experiences are very personal, and they're very dear to that person. And some of them, it's scary. The way they perceive it, it's scary. So they don't want to discuss it. But I know they are going through it because this place, she chose. She is preparing it for the world. And we are magnificently blessed to be involved in that journey with her. She's doing it for the world because she knows this is Asuric age, this is Kali Yuga, and world is going to face many testing, many tragedies. She knows it. So she wants to provide as much help she can through many of these sites. There are many places. Ours is one in this country. There are many, when I was visiting the Tirtha Yatras, I had seen those holy places which are not yet known, but they will be known in the next 10, 20, 30 years ago because she has chose them. When I say she chose them, her aspects manifest. Millions and millions of her aspects. When she goes to war, when you read Dev Mahatmya, you see, she goes with millions and millions of Yakshinis, Devis and Devatas and Devas. And she goes and battles with them. And this is meaningful because the whole creation itself is imaginary to some degree, but to us, to those who are involved, it is real. You are real, this building is real, what I see is real. But my perception is not that degree as it should be, because it's human. That's why I said today, Mahasaraswati takes us closest to the Vidya. Still a Paravidya, not Paravidya. Paravidya will come to us when we are done as humans and we are traveling to higher level of consciousness, which we will. I'm saying with so much force, so much faith, because I've seen it. I've seen many things happen. So I know the travel, we are the travelers, and we have a person who has designed it for us. So when she designs it and makes all this and gives us those information to build that magnificent Raja Sannidhanam. I don't want to say Raja Gopuram. Raja Gopuram is just a structure where you can put all the deities you want. But Raja Sannidhanam is one where she has helped you. She has told you how to do prana pratishta to that deity, to that cosmic energy. You can either call it deity or cosmic energy. Cosmic energy sounds not very romantic, but it is. It's high vibratory cosmic energy with consciousness. It's just not pure energy, with consciousness. It manifests as prana, mind, higher intellect, then Anandamaya, then Atman, then Paramatman. So the beautiful journey, she has planned it, and she has designed it, and she has given it. And now, on this Navaratri time, is the most auspicious she has given us. She told me, I want to do this so that my children will have a chance to be touched by me. I use the word touched by me in the real way, where she comes into you. One devotee now had the experience, that experience where the higher pranic energy comes in and you cannot handle that. So you lose consciousness or you do what she did. It's too intense, too energetic. It happens to me when I am doing prayogam, when there's nobody there. Nobody would even know what happens to me. I had one experience in Lufthansa about 30 years ago when I was going from here. Those days we went to Delhi or Bombay. It didn't go to Chennai. And that time where I just went into the trance, they thought I died. So they took me, carried me from economy class to first class and laid me down. So when I got up, I was wondering what happened. Why am I here? I should be down there. Then there's a lady who's a ISKCON devotee who happened to be a nurse. She said, "Doctor, you are dead. There's no pulse, there's no respiration." I didn't want to have anything to do with that. And strangely, every time you travel, you probably, there's always a doctor in the plane. That time there was no doctor. That was a blessing, mother's blessing to me. If there had been a doctor, they would have defibrillated me and probably killed me in the process. So beautifully she took. So then I realized that's what happens. Your metabolic function goes down so low, you don't breathe, your pulse is very feeble or none. Okay, you don't need that at that time. Okay, you are with higher forms of energy. So I realized what happens, and now I'm very careful. I don't do that when I'm in the flight, because it happens, and they would think you are dead. And you are dead by that criteria, by pulse, respiration, and even the pranic. Prana continues probably, but they can't measure the prana. They can only measure. So if you don't have it, you are dead. So these are dangerous places to do meditate. So now I don't do that. Coming back to the point, today we are here on this day, most auspicious day, in front of Mahishasuramardini. They're all very close vibration. Kali, Mahakali, Chandikeshwari, Durga, Lalita Tirupura Sundari. They're all very high. Mahamai. She's Mahamari. I was there in her temple about the day before shutdown. I left March 12th, 13th. They shut down the travel after that. But she took good care of me, and she is very close to Badrinath. Devaprayag, that place where that temple is there, and very unique temple. It's a hill, sharp hill. On top of it they built it. I don't know how they could have done it. It's very difficult to even reach that place. And Adi Shankara traveled. Adi Shankara made one of the yantras, and the yantra is on the top. Like nobody can see it. It's covered. Once a year they will change it. At that time they won't let anyone into the temple. Very secretive aspect. But he visited that. Can you imagine 1200 years ago going to that place from down south with all the plane and everything? I had a hard time to reach, and she had to tell me how to go, how to reach, and I had all the help. But he went by himself and installed the yantra for her. So obviously he was not human. He passed away when he was 32. He was a divine being, just came in that form to teach us. And then next to that temple, I just finished it. Then Agastya Muni, there's a city there. It's called Agastya Muni, that city. Almost 100,000 people in the city. Many of them are Muslims. So that time they built that. And that's not in Kali Yuga or Dwapara Yuga. It must be Treta Yuga. Because Rama's guru, he was Rama's guru. And he gave the Aditya Hridaya mantra to Rama when he was fighting Ravana, when he was giving up. Ravana, again I'm saying, is a mighty being. He's a mighty Brahmin. He had all the knowledge, all the wisdom, all the power. He just went wrong because he just lost for a short period that he is our son. And the arrogance came and his downfall came up. So he must have lived, and the temple, probably original temple, now it's reproduced probably many times. Adi Shankara probably did it last, which is 1200 years ago. These are all ancient temples. Treta Yuga must be what? If you take Dwapara Yuga, 200,000 years, then Treta Yuga, it's probably 300, 400,000 years ago. That time, that thing would have happened. Science doesn't know anything. We think we talk about 5,000, 10,000, 20,000, 30,000. Now we've gone up to 40,000. Because we know now, people, our origin moved away from Hindu Kush. Then we became Europeans. Color changed. Language formed the sinuses. So the features changed. So we were not Indians anymore. That is 40,000 years ago. So we spread all over. And that second migration, first migration must have occurred 150,000 years from Africa to India. And that time continents are together. And when African piece of Africa broke and came and hit India, Himalayas formed. Hindu Kush mountain area. That's the time Himalayas formed. When was it? 80 million years to 100 million years ago. Why Shaligrama is so holy, so auspicious? They say it's Mahavishnu. Because when that cataclysm happened, there's nothing like that has ever happened before or ever happened after. It'd be 1,000 nuclear bombs. And no place had 1,000 nuclear bombs. So at that time, those angels, those devatas who are just spanning the universe, they must have passed. And they must have looked down with the cataclysm. And trillion organisms perished in the intense heat. At that time they must have looked, and their consciousness must have been there. That is the reason why that place became very holy. Because their thought, their consciousness was drawn by that misery. It's not a misery, it's a cataclysm. More than any word I can explain. That happened at that time, and that's why that place becomes very holy, because those devatas looked at that place with kindness. So much life forms. That's the reason when you do Chanti Homa, mother tells him why all this happens. When Shiva Bhagavan asks Devi, why every life form is suffering, every life form, not just human. Then she explains, and then she says, these are the asuras, came from me, they are needed, they only start this evolution, and organisms have to go through that to reach us back. So she teaches him. That's why she's called Para Pattarika. Para is the origin, Pattarika is the teacher. She's the original teacher to Shiva Bhagavan. So she has become his guru. But actually she transcends down to Shiva Shakti. Next level is Shiva Shakti. First level would be Mahamari, pure consciousness. When it divides into two, that's Shiva Shakti. Then it divides into trillion forms. That's the creation. So here she comes in as Mahamari. So when I was down there, she said, when you go back, you install me in a new Sannidhanam. This is a new Sannidhanam. So we installed it, just like the way she instructed. We didn't even know we were going to do that. So this will be made into more elaborate Sannidhanam for her. This will be there. But her own Sannidhanam will be magnificent inside the temple. It will be much bigger, much more grand. She will be sitting with Ganesha and Kartikeya, and we are starting to work. We hope to complete that Sannidhanam will be the first Sannidhanam. She is making 24 of her aspect. All her aspect, very unusual aspect, all of them will be there. All from her. There's only one divine mother. And that we hope to complete it by February, March time frame. And once that is done, the place will grow. And it will be protection to the world. And the world will be protected. This is the story of us. And we are the participant. And this has been predicted long ago. And now I see it happen step by step. And I see the tragedy happen too. Nobody knew what's going to happen with COVID. We knew it's going to happen, but after 100 years, it happened 100 years ago when it took 33 million people. Now it's much, much less. But now we have protection. And it will get better, vaccine will be there, and we will survive. But there are many, many things she is saying will happen to the world. But it would not affect us, because she has said, I will protect my children. So come, keep her in your heart, show your love, affection, reverence, especially love. Be very close, because she comes to protect us, to protect the world, but protect us, and most importantly, using us as her agent. Can you imagine what a boon that would be? She could do it just by thinking. No, she won't do that. She would use that thing to us so that we can participate and we can grow. And she wants to see that. For that reason, she has made all this drama. We got to build, and in the process, we in the process we grow. Our Atman gets pleased, and we become her agents. I call myself as a mailman. Uh, Technically it is true, because whatever information I get, I share. Whatever I can share, I share with you, because it belongs to you. All the boons I get going and so many Tirthapida and seeing so many Siddhas, seeing so many cosmic people, that is given to me because of you. If you are not there, I would not have any of them. There won't be need for me. There won't be need for a mailman. And a mailman gets the mail and gets to read the mail. And then you get to know whatever she wants you to know. Whatever she wants you to know only, you'll know. I may tell many, many things, but you won't remember. It won't have any impact on you. Whatever she wants each one of you to get it, you'll get it. I may say the same thing, and many, many times we had experiences. Same talk, but so many different interpretations. That means that soul needs to know that, and she'll give the answer. And many of them, I see somebody standing in front of me right there, and he has that experience. He's one of those touched by mother. I use the word touched by mother. There are many of them I know, many of you. And it's probably through Kundalini effect, but you are touched. That means you had that experience which transforms you. You know reality. And reality is not something you can read or even be taught. It has to be experienced. And that will come when you show that much affection, love, reverence, and then take her. She will give it. She has given all of us. Whatever I say, a gold mine, she has given it. But we have to go and take the gold. That means you take some pots and pans and take the gold. That pots and pans will be our sacrifice. The term itself is a wrong term, but I don't have any other better term to say other than sacrifice. This is something you could look at it as a long-term investment. Truly long-term. Not like Apple chairman Steve Jobs died with $20 billion worth of apples he had, shares when he left. There's no connection, it's gone. That is a short-term investment. The short interval of his life, he was young too, he didn't even live to be 100. That is a short-term rental. This is all short-term rental. But we use that and grow and keep on evolving, keep on learning, keep on getting the blessing and the grace. That word, remember the word grace, Arul. That is the most important. You have to have her grace to receive. She would give it, but your Atman won't accept it. That is a major problem. When your Atman won't accept it, she cannot force it into you. You have to accept it. And Atman will accept it when you please it. How do you please it? A day like this. You come here, you take her in a position, you show your love, your affection, and the knowledge of who she is. How she came in as Mahishasura Mardini. And Mahishasura was a mighty being, by the way. Don't look down on them. He became arrogant and stubborn, so we gave him a form, Mahishasura. He could become anything he wants. He changed many, many forms. One of them is stubborn, bull-headed form. So that is Mahishasura, mighty, mighty being. So I'll stop here because this place is a wonderful place. Take advantage of it. Use, get the grace, and keep moving. You know, your destiny is not human. You'll finish up for sure. Okay, you're here with the grace, you'll finish as a human. But you'll go there, take a short-term vacation in Vaikuntha. How long? Time doesn't have any meaning. It could be millennia, it could be 100 years. We don't know. But you go there, you enjoy all the niceties of moksha, the liberation. Then you come back again and start the travel. May not be here. Some place in the universe, there's so many billions and billions of galaxies and solar system. We will choose what is needed for us and we will keep growing. I use the word growth. Thinning out, growing, and then ultimately you become part of her. All go back to where we came from. This is the creation, this is the life. But in the process, how many complications we go by? Hundreds, thousands of life. Because it's not easy to break through this barrier of mind, body, intellect and ego. You have to break through that and touch your Ananda, Atman, and then touch Paramatma, Atman to Paramatma. Those are the things which Vidya would teach you, Paravidya. But Paravidya is not given to human. Even Master Saraswati won't give you that. You have to become cosmic person. That's a huge travel. And good luck. Thank you.